So there are a shit ton of people who are hunting for longevity hacks. And, you knew this, I knew this. Some are pretty solidly science-based. Many are, super modern, tech wow, wahoo, hopefully. Heaps are pretty expensive, in fact, heaps are really expensive. And a few are Olympic level insane. And I'm looking at you, Brian Johnson. Insane. But what have I told you? There's one that has a few centuries of evidence to support it. It's relatively straightforward. It's not too expensive. And for some humans at least, it only requires a one-off action.
Time for a little bit of science. I'm Will Grant, Associate Professor in Science Communication at the Australian National University.
Rod Lambert's a 30-year SciComm veteran, the mind of a teenage boy.
And today, as well as longevity hacks, we've also got some psychology on climate action. You're also going to tell me about science finding heaven?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Okay. We've both got a bit of fun with animals.
Yes, we do.
And then, look, I'm going to hit the mailbag, and I've got a little bit of a birthday present for you, Ron.
Oh, and it's not even my birthday. Is this a late one or an early one?
Late and early. It's for 2 years. It's for
2 years worth?
Yeah, it's 2 years worth.
You cheap fuck. It better be nice. So how far would you go to increase your functional lifespan?
A little bit.
Get up slightly earlier?
Yeah, no. I'm down with the exercise. I'm down with the eating the veggies. I'm down with the, minimising the amount of durries, those kind of things.
Only down to a pack a day?
Technical term for international listeners, a durry is...
a fag.
Don't do that.
Cigarette.
Yes.
So would you do the fasting? You're 5'2"?
I'm not against it, but no. I haven't done... No.
I've thought about it.
There's a little bit of thinking about that, that... as a parent of children, that you don't want to be eating too different from your kids in front of them.
Well, you wouldn't be. You'd be eating less than them. They'll be all right with that.
That would be different. No, it's a little bit weird where you go, here you go, kids, here's your food. I'm not having that.
Here's your steak and onions. I've got this piece of lettuce.
Or other way around, you eat that. I'm not going to, it's not that I'm poisoning my kids. I just, there's a...
There's a lot of backpedaling going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can also,
I'm not against it, but I just, I haven't done that.
That's not quite yet. When they're older, you could eat, 45,000 supplements a day.
Some supplement, it depends what the supplements do. If you're eating vitamin pills like you've poured them a bowl of cornflakes,
yes,
and you're kind of shoveling them with a spoon, no,
you don't do that.
I'm not doing that.
But you live longer, maybe.
No.
You could sleep at weird and antisocial times. Cut out alcohol. He says with a beer to his lips. How about this? How about having your quote reproduction curtailed?
My reproduction curtailed. Well, from now on, I'm planning to do any more. So I have reproduced, as I just said. So.
Right, there's this recent study in Nature. Nature's a big one for the people who aren't scientists out there. So international group scientists, they looked at reproduction and longevity. Mm-hmm. Study had 117 different mammals from all over the world. Humans were among them. They found out that when both females and males have their reproduction curtailed, they tend to live longer than curtailed counterparts. Oh. So overall, across all these people and
so this
animals,
is no more babies or no babies at all?
We're going to get to that.
All right.
So overall, the different mammals, life expectancy jumped 10 to 20%. So it got longer. So what are we actually talking about when we say reproduction being curtailed? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're talking about sterilisation.
Oh, okay. Males and females?
There are many different ways to become sterile.
Okay, some questions about this in a sec, because I've heard contradictory logics.
Well, no, this is the latest study and it's in Nature.
Oh, so, yeah. All right.
International.
Continue.
117 mammals, including humans. So there are many ways to become sterile. So, reproductively less non-capable. So don't freak out. There are many ways. Yeah, don't freak out yet. Here are some details. It appears that effective life-lengthening sterilisation depends on whether you're a boy or a girl, so there are conditions.
Okay.
It's different between your biological boys and your biological girls. Also, it depends on the mechanism you use or can do.
Sure.
And the time in life of your sterilisation.
Okay, yeah.
So let's start with the biological females.
Yep.
So lead author is a guy from University of Otago, Mike. He says, look, in females, lifespan increases after several different forms of sterilisation. So cool. This suggests that benefits arise from reducing the substantial energetic and physiological costs of pregnancy, lactation, and caring for offspring.
Yes, when they say several different types, what I'm wondering here is, the vast difference between you're not able to have a baby for, so the hormones are still all in there and you're going through the thing, but you're not using them for the full pregnancy, which could be really quite draining, versus you've taken the whole hormonal system out.
Yes.
So both of those?
It seems that out is better. But again, it's not that straightforward. So, I mean, carrying on with what you were saying and what our buddy Mike here from Otago is saying, pregnancy exacts a physical and emotional cost on female bodies, so pregnancy itself, makes perfect sense that blocking conception would boost female lifespans. And it all gets a bit blurry between blocking conception, sterilising, etc. But there's a nuance here. It turns out for women or females, surgical sterilisation doesn't seem to increase lifespan. So removing the bits, maybe not. In fact, it turns out, for example, women's survival is slightly decreased after permanent surgical sterilisation. So things like removing ovaries tend to make women a bit frailer and less healthy. So it's messy. But the timing of female sterilisation also doesn't seem to matter either. So they're a bit less messy. It seems like when you menstruate can make a difference. It gets quite messy. But I want to get to the men because I'm a man and I'm biased. So castrated men are known to enjoy longer lifespans.
Are they really? I was going to assume the opposite, actually.
No. And there's a study, I said this has been going on for centuries. So there's a study done that looked at the Korean royal family and eunuchs that worked for them between the 16th and 19th centuries.
Yeah.
And the eunuchs lived by 14 to 19 years longer. 14 to 19 years.
Longer than the royal family or longer than the average?
Longer than your average dude.
All I'm going to say
there
here...
may be conditions around their lives.
I feel like you're working for the royal family. You're in a pretty cushy spot.
But other like princes and princelings and you know the chamberlains and your servants didn't live as long. They lived like everyone else. Whereas the dudes without the old block and tackle, well, they still had the block, no tackle. I think that's how it works. Generally appeared to live quite a lot longer. 14 to 19 years is a lot.
Which one is the block?
I think the block is your mast and the tackle is your swingers. But it might not be.
I thought it was more of a generic term that is just substituting two things for two things.
That is that too.
Matter, you know.
So
it's like your meat and potatoes.
Your cheese and onion.
Who knows which is the meat and which is the potatoes in this euphemism?
I do. The meat is the ding-dong and the potatoes are the balls.
No, definitely not. No, your potatoes.
This is my potatoes.
Okay.
This is my potatoes.
See, here's my point then. My point was confirmed by you. In that metaphor, it's clear.
It is.
Because there's the potato shape.
Your Franken beans, again, clear.
Again.
Your block and tackle, less so.
Yeah, less so.
Less so. So if we're going to look at other ways to reproductively curtail, because what if you don't want to become a eunuch?
I can't use any of this information.
No, you can't. The problem with that is, though, your other technologies, your other reproductive curtailing techniques or your sterilizations, the lead author says, look, in males, it seems only castration extends lifespan. So vasectomy, for example, no. So it increases in survival. Castrated men resemble the effects in other species. So across the mammalians, when you castrate the male, they all kind of get the longer lifespan. But there's more. So it's not that simple. Why would it be that simple?
All right.
Because you're thinking right now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this is freaking cool, and you kind of flag this. You're not using your plums anymore. Plums are the balls, not the champ. So it sounds pretty good, maybe just get rid of them. Turns out, no, it's the presence of sex hormones that impact biological aging. And sadly, this means, however, the effect comes from removing the sex hormones before they start churning out of the beanbag.
Okay, so this is from young age.
Pre-puberty. You've got to do it pre-puberty. So it's a quick hack. It's simple.
Not available to many.
Well, available to heaps. There are a lot of boys out there who are prepubescent.
I feel like in the vast accounting of different values, that it may not be a successful treatment.
You've got your values abacus out.
Yeah, I feel like no.
So definitely, early life castration has the longest effect on lifespan. So there's a longevity hack for you that you can't use, and if anyone did it to their children, they'd be monsters.
I am so moderately glad that I know that. All right. I got a little one for you. That's another psychology study that tells us something useful that maybe we knew already. About people? A psychology study about people, as you worried before.
I do worry.
This comes out of Germany. And a bunch of researchers there, they're a little bit interested in what happened with all of the COVID mandates. So, you have to...
The COVID mandates.
Mandates for vaccines, mandates for wearing masks, all sorts of instructions
mandates
about
for
what to
welding yourself into your house.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think that happened in Germany. It did happen in some places. But
not as often in Germany, no.
What they were interested in is, okay, are they good or bad for getting people to do things? And
I like a psych study that says, is it good or bad? I like that.
Well, if you want to achieve those ends, if you want to achieve a certain end, reducing COVID. But anyway, they're actually interested in climate change and environmental action. And so this is just a nice, simple study. They surveyed 3,000 Germans And they compared their interest in following a series of different environmental behaviours, green lifestyles, responses to climate change, all sorts of things like that. And basically, they asked whether they would do them if they were voluntary. Would you do this yourself?
Yes, of course I would.
And then tweaked the language a little bit for different people.
Would you do it at gunpoint?
Would you do it at gunpoint?
Would you do it for gold bullion?
And no surprise here. No surprise here. Suddenly, people who would have done a bunch of environmental actions previously...
Who claim they would.
Claim they would, yes. Who said they, would recycle or take the bus or...
The other things.
Name some other environmental actions.
Eat solar instead of petrol.
Yes, exactly.
Benzene distillate.
Yeah. Drive a cow to work, that kind of...
Fair.
Versus if the government said you have to. And all those freedom-loving Germans, all rule-loving Germans, no, they're freedom-loving Germans here, they said, nah, go and get fucked. I won't do it if you tell me to. And I think this is actually really interesting for all sorts of environmental action because there remain people that would like to mandate various sorts of environmental actions, certain insulation in your house, or you have to have...
So this is mandated with punishment.
Well,
it's not just...
How do you mandate?
Well, I mean, is it a colossal fine, or is it like with the house?
Some sort of...
You can't build it unless you've got quadruple glazing.
Yeah, exactly.
And 7 metres of insulation in every wall.
A whole bunch of things that people would do if it was voluntary, but they won't do if they're mandated. Which, the thing here...
it's fickle.
But aren't you like that? Aren't you?
No. I don't do it either way. I'm simple. No. Here's what I would do if it was mandated. Like, I often think a house should probably have, I don't know, any insulation. Yeah, but I don't prioritise it.
Should.
Yeah, I don't prioritise it because there's other things to spend my money on.
I accept that your house is some sort of weird canvas bag made by architects in the 70s. Make something that's impossible to
insulate. Yeah. What if there were no wall cavities or ceiling cavities? Go. What we'll do is we'll put in really tall windows floor to ceiling and really wide, and we'll make the glass the thinnest on the market.
It's like they came from a different climate, spent one day in Canberra and said,
tropical.
Well, this is great.
It'll be fine. Freezing, put in a fire.
No, but in fairness, your house is tough in the heat as well.
Yeah, it's terrible in both. Yeah. But it's
But
cool.
if you were mandated to do those things...
Then I would. But voluntarily I haven't done it because it's like, well, there are other things I'm mandated to do, like pay for water and sewage.
So you're not a German?
Oh, I'm a German.
Anyway, there you go.
But I'm more down your totalitarian line.
Well, this says totalitarianism doesn't work for environmental action.
Bet it does. This is, would they do it? Not, would they do it?
Okay.
Classic site.
Tell
me what you
actually,
reckon you'd do.
It does say they would resent it, but I guess if they're mandated, it's happening anyway.
Not happy, but yeah, I do it. Fuck you, but okay.
What was I going to tell you about now?
The story about the dog with the feet.
Dog with the feet.
Yep.
No, I was watching something the other day, and it was just something that made me feel good. It was a list on YouTube of good dogs, and I'm going to tell you about one of these dogs. But it was actually a variety of dogs, and I thought I'm going to drill in a little bit further.
You're going to drill into the dogs.
Dogs with unusual jobs, because we used to.
Okay, let's start with dogs with jobs across all the numbers of dogs in the world. Fairly unusual.
Yeah, sure, but dogs are one of our more employed animals.
That's true, more than like budgies. Or your fish.
Do we use budgies? Do we use fish?
Canaries in coal mines, not really a job. It's just more like sit there
That's a job.
Till you die.
That's a job. They're paid for it.
Not a lot of training.
Yeah, sure. You don't have to be trained to do a job. And fairly, they don't give consent to some of these jobs.
Well, no.
I just thought I wanted to make you happy and find a bunch of dogs doing good jobs out there. And I'll tell you, there's a lot more out there. Now, we've all seen sniffer dogs at airports. We've all seen guide dogs for the blind. We've seen dogs doing a variety, rounding up sheep, those kind of things.
And your emotional support pooch?
Well, I'll come to the emotional support pooch in a second, because there was one that I was like, I watched a video of this and I was like, that is so nice. Just the expression on this dog where it is helping out. And it's like, oh, you good dog.
I'm a good dog.
You good dog. You good dog. You are doing absolutely the right thing. So, okay, there's a bunch of dogs around the world that are used in various sorts of biosecurity and pest eradication and animal protection work.
Yep.
So I found a few. There was up in Queensland, dogs have been helping to eradicate fire ants from one town. So they're not... Now,
please not as a decoy.
Fire ants are as a decoy. Fire ants are an invasive species, and no one wants to get bitten by a fire ant. It comes in the title. I think ages ago you did a listicle for
On pain.
on
Insect pain bites.
and I think fire ants were up there at like number 2 or something like that.
Years ago, when my wife and I were first living together, she was outside gardening. I'm lying on the couch, just being, a blob watching something on TV. And she suddenly comes sprinting into the house screaming, "Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me," and pulling her pants off. And I'm like, "Good day." And it turns out it wasn't quite fire ants, but it was some like watered down equivalent. And while she was digging in the garden, these things would run up her legs and were biting her all over her thighs.
Stop it. I
know, it's only because it's a story about ants. And it was just funny. Like, I'm sitting there like,
no one wants to get bitten by
anything.
Insects, but anything.
Yeah.
But no, they've been trained to sniff out fire ant nests. They wouldn't fire ant colonies when they're
locate, like they're here.
Locate, dig them up, and they can get them when
Dig them up?
when they're really young, when they're really new and fresh, a small colony.
Eat the babies.
They don't. Dogs don't eat the babies. But anyway, they're hunting down invasive species. There's others that are helping out hunting down little different plants. Airport runway guard dogs.
What?
So
Keep the plane safe.
Yeah, keep the plane safe.
Or keep people from running in front of the planes. As
No,
they're taxiing.
not people. Obviously, you don't want things running onto the airport runway. But one of the big problems that they were having in Traverse City in Michigan was small animals were coming down, and then you get the bird of prey swooping in to grab the rat, the rodent, something like that.
Yeah.
So they had a fleet of dogs that would guard the edge of the runway to stop mice, rats, other small animals, so the bird of prey doesn't swoop down and come in there.
Do they give them headphones to protect them from the aeroplane noise?
That's an interesting question. I hope they do.
Bunch of deaf dogs.
I hope they do.
Monsters.
Okay, here's my 2 favourites. In a certain part of Indonesia, the free-ranging Sumatran rhino.
They're worse. The free-ranging ones are the worst ones.
How common do you reckon they are?
6.
Wow.
One every street.
Yeah, there's none. Like there's none of these things.
I had a feeling because rhinos, you don't associate rhino with prolific.
Yeah. Now we've got some Sumatran rhinos in zoos, and for years, conservationists had been trying to find them in a particular national park, a particular area where they were, and they're like, they're not here.
Any.
They're hunting. They're looking for all sorts of signs that they can find Sumatran rhinos. There's nothing there. They've never seen one, never anything.
So you just got to look for the doo-doo.
All you got to do is bring in a dog.
And it goes...
So they trained a couple of dogs.
on what?
On
pictures?
on
If you see one of these, Fido...
on the poo and the wee from the Sumatran rhinos in the zoo.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Took them a day and a bit.
Yep.
So day and a bit, and they suddenly found...
rhino.
Yeah, they're there. They're there. So...
That's nice.
Yeah.
Then the dog surrounded it and had a heart attack.
Okay, I got two more dogs that are doing good things.
Yeah.
Dogs in archaeology. Migaloo is the world's first archaeology dog.
You can smell a mummy from 4 miles away.
Basically, can detect ancient human remains and fossils. I don't know how it's doing fossils, like fossils of rocks.
Smells like a rock bone.
But it can detect 600-year-old human remains, so mummies. Basically, that's the oldest that a dog has ever found.
That's not bad. So they're better than LiDAR? Oh, no, that's more for your buildings.
That would be different. I mean, LiDAR might spot something. And found fossils dated between 2.6 and 5.3 million years old. I don't understand.
How do you train that? Here's a fossilised bone. Here's some bauxite.
I don't know.
Which one's a bone? Which one's a bone?
Because they're the same thing.
That's what I mean. Like, here's a mineral, and here's a mineral that is shaped like a bone.
I love that these scientists are like, you know what would be great is...
Ducks.
Get some dogs in here to find our mummies.
They're wonderful. I mean, dogs are wonderful. Anything they can do with us, and the more they can do with us, the better.
Now, you mentioned emotional support dogs.
I did.
Now that's a huge and growing area of psychology. There's a lot of psychologists I know who, amongst their first recommendation for so many different people is, why don't you just get a dog?
Get a dog.
Just get a dog. Get a dog.
Yep.
I just wanted to talk about one in particular. There's a great case. This guy, Cody Green, he started having auditory and visual hallucinations as well as paranoia and delusions during his freshman year in college.
God.
He went to a bad place with this, as you can imagine. Drug abuse. He ended up in prison. In 21, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Uh-huh.
Now, he tried medication and other treatments, and they have helped control a bunch of his different symptoms, but his hallucinations have persisted. And
whoa, that is That's got to be weird. Everything else is cool, except I see crazy shit all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any way that could be pleasant?
In particular, one of the key hallucinations that Cody often has
Is dogs?
no, is people. Like people will turn up. And so and this is probably not the hardest thing to train a dog to do, but it's just such a nice use of a dog, is if Cody sees a person and
there's no person?
he says, greet. And his dog, Luna, the Jack Russell, will go and say hello if it's a person.
If they exist.
But if there's no one there, the dog just... And there's this beautiful footage. It's just beautiful.
Is it the full-on head cock? The dog just like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
No. Eyes locked. Eyes locked on Cody.
Mate,
there's
no.
like, no.
Cody,
there's,
no.
There's no one here. There's
Yeah.
no... And it's just the way... If you could see a dog saying, there's no one here, like it's full dog expression.
Training the dog too to like, because that could send the dog bonkers too. Like, greet, there's no human. Greet, there is a human.
What do I do?
Yeah, like
Absence. It's a dog that knows the number 0. So...
Ooh.
And knows how to respond. So
Even
I just thought...
that's
I just
cool.
thought that was just a nice, heartwarming thing. There you go.
I like the eye lock too. No, dude. No. Look at me. No. So science has finally found where heaven is. This comes from one of my regular go-to little bit of science sources, Fox News. Don't mock.
I didn't do anything.
You went. That could mean anything.
Well, I think if Fox News says that we've found where heaven is,
They didn't.
I'm taking this all with a grain of salt. That's
No. His credentials.
Okay.
It was written as an opinion piece for a Fox News website by a guy called Michael Guillen.
So this is just to clarify, this is not some tourism board going, okay, this is the nicest place in the world, or
Fair call.
or flipping,
Fair call.
people that are saying we found the Garden of Eden or something like that.
Yeah, and it's full of
We know
pubes and
where
snake
heaven
scales.
is.
Yeah.
Like where?
We can use science to point to where heaven is.
So just my understanding of heaven, in the Christian tradition.
It's a state of mind.
Well, no. Like, well, yeah, but it's not in this universe. It's like you take a little special rocket ship for your soul to a different thing.
I got news
like
for you.
As in, we're not going to see it with telescopes. We're not going to.
I got news
You
for
can't drive to it if you're not invited.
Oh my God, it's like you already know this story.
What do we got?
So this guy, Michael Guillen, he has a PhD in physics, maths and astronomy, apparently, from Cornell. He taught physics at Harvard. He's the former science editor for ABC News in the US. Mm-hmm. More recently, his biggest book is called Believing is Seeing. And this is one of the quotes from the cover. Dr. Guillen, or as his website is headed, Science with Dr. G.
Okay.
Immediately sus. He recounts the fascinating story of his journey from atheism to Christianity. I'm just giving a background on the guy.
Okay.
So he's got the PhD in the physics. He's done the Harvard teaching.
Okay. So he's come from that, and he wants to use his creds.
He does. And he's got, like, I'm just going to say, his latest book is called Let Creation Speak! 100 Invitations to Awe and Wonder. I'll just give you a quick summary. The cover says, everything around us is striking evidence that God exists, that he once appeared in human form, spoke to us directly, and made us for a specific purpose. Everything around us. Everything.
So
Everything.
Your shoes.
Yep. The pimple on the end of your toe.
That's evidence that, okay.
Yep. Wherever you are in life, he says, whether you're a person of faith or a skeptic or something else.
It's kind of hard. When everything is evidence, then you haven't allowed anything to be contradictory evidence.
I feel like there's not evidence anymore.
Yeah, I feel like...
I don't know what we do with it. Anyway, his book is an invitation to find and embrace the radiant, resilient, relevant person you were created to be.
Wow.
So this is a little background on him. So it's a mixed background, let's just say. Scientific credentials, an extreme enthusiasm for the Lord and creation, etc. So anyway, what he did in this piece was inspired by his 4-year-old asking him, Daddy, can we drive to heaven? And he thought, I'm going to ponder this question. Like, where exactly...
Can we drive to heaven?
Yeah. And he's like, huh. And the question...
Surely, just not to paraphrase,
No.
it's unfair of a non-Christian to paraphrase a Christian, but surely the standard Christian response is, no, you do good deeds. If your driving is good, that would be amongst the good deeds you could do.
But you probably can't take your Cadillac.
You certainly can't put in your GPS, you're not taking your Cadillac.
Yeah.
I don't think you're taking your Cadillac with you. I don't know.
Because they have them there.
Oh, they have them there.
No, they have your, what are those, the PT Cruisers by Chrysler.
No, they don't. They're not in heaven. Like, of all the cars, they're not in heaven. Like, I think there's a list of a few cars that make it into heaven, and I'm sorry,
that is absolutely none of them.
The PT Cruiser is not in heaven. I'm not a car guy.
It's not even hell. It's full on limbo. That one's just like
straight to limbo. No, Satan doesn't want that car.
No, it's like no, it's too gross.
Sorry, PT Cruiser drivers out there. I don't think there's many left.
Anyway, so the question he asks himself is, where exactly is the heaven described in the Bible?
Oh, fair enough.
And this is great. So apparently there are all kinds of references, he says, to humans looking up to heaven and God looking down upon us.
Yeah, sure.
This
up
is
in the
familiar.
sky, that's fairly traditional.
Yep, we all know this. But apparently the Bible can get a little more specific about it.
Can it?
Apparently. I'm
Behind
taking
that
his
cloud?
word. Kind of. It says there are 3 levels of heaven.
Like it's a 3-story building.
Exactly. So you've got your
Ground floor heaven?
you got your lobby.
Okay.
You got your cheap apartments.
No, you got your gates. You got your pearly gates.
Oh, they're not. They're at the. Ooh, I don't know where they are actually. Apparently, it goes like this: lowest level is Earth's atmosphere. The mid level is outer space.
Oh, okay. And what's
The highest level.
outer space is big.
I know. I know.
Like Earth's atmosphere is pretty small
And
comparatively.
then you got the rest.
the rest that is okay. Level 3 beyond outer space.
Well, from my perspective, yes, Earth's atmosphere, and then the rest. But then the highest level is where God dwells.
Okay, cool. So I think
levels.
we've established
3
that
levels.
we are not driving to the edge of outer space and a bit beyond.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but no, the driving there is definitely off the table.
Okay, thank you.
And he's used science to help us.
Thank you.
come to
Finally,
terms with it.
science has enabled us to answer.
Y'all
a
ain't driving to
question.
heaven. Yeah, like even in a BYD Ute.
Oh, seriously?
BYD, if you're
Shark.
listening,
You want a shark?
fuck it. If it's sponsorship,
I
fuck
mean,
yeah.
you know, they've got to be, big aside here, the most successful new car in Australia in forever.
Not only
Like-
Australia, I think.
Like everyone in the world drives a BYD Shark now.
They've
Like,
overtaken Tesla for electric cars.
I know that. But
Not for PT
they've
Cruisers.
overtaken cars. Like there's cars and there's BYD
It's like,
Shark.
that's it. Is this a successful car? Oh no, this is way more than a car. So anyway, he poses the question then, could you ever reach a point far enough up into space that you finally reach heaven, running
indeed.
on the 3 levels?
What a question. Did he publish this in his book? It's in his book.
No, it's in this blog on, Fox
In a
News.
blog and Fox News.
Fox
Okay.
News.
So it didn't make it into Nature.
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, I don't, like we were talking earlier
Yeah.
about being healthily skeptical.
Sure.
It still could. We're getting to the science. So the short answer to could you ever reach a point far enough up into space that you finally reach heaven is no.
Oh.
We couldn't physically reach it.
Oh, what are you got to do?
But before we get to that, but science can at least point the way to where it is and also explain why we can't get there, at least as incarnate beings. Science can do this.
Yeah.
So he talks us through his realization and he uses astronomy and physics. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Astronomy and physics. So we'll get into it. First, he starts with the cosmic horizon. So I'll tell you what that is, because I know you know, but others might not. So Edmund Hubble comes in here. So he said and demonstrated using science, galaxies are rushing away from each other pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
And so we have Hubble's law. One version of the definition is galaxies are moving away from the Earth at speeds proportional to their distance, which means basically the farther a galaxy is from the Earth,
The faster it's chopping off.
it moves.
Yep.
Yeah. So using that premise,
Relative to us.
relative, and that's going to come in, not in ways that help his argument. So Guillen says, theoretically, a galaxy that is 273 billion trillion miles away from Earth,
Yeah, it's a lot.
that's like 100 kilometres, would move at about 186,000 miles per second, which, as I'm sure you know,
Away from us.
no, that would, is the speed of light.
Well, indeed.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I know you were. So-
I only think in speed of light. Everything
I know.
is just like...
You're like, how fast are you going? Well, fuck all. I mean, basically standing still, officer, in comparison to.
Indeed.
And he says, okay, so that distance way up there in space is the cosmic horizon. So the cosmic horizon is,
Is the furthest galaxy that we can see.
or be aware of, the one that's far enough out that it's moving at the speed of light.
So we're assuming there aren't galaxies beyond ones that we can see?
Oh,
You know?
we'll get to that,
Okay, good.
sort of.
Yeah, good.
So we've got that. You've got that in your head so far, right? We've got the Hubble law. We've got the galactic, the cosmic horizon.
Yep.
Now, because it's science and physics, let's chuck in a bit of Einstein.
Okay.
Obviously, relativity, etc., means that even the fastest rocket ship, craft, or car,
Yeah.
even PT Cruiser, could never go at the speed of light. Better yet, faster.
Yeah. Well, it certainly can't go faster.
Yep. And quoting our buddy here, only light and certain other non-material phenomena. I don't know what that is.
I think he's talking about souls.
Didn't say.
I think he's implying it.
Non-material phenomena.
Yeah.
Stop assuming.
That's the only thing that they're keen on. They're like,
Really?
yeah, that's, when he's saying certain other non-material phenomena, that's souls.
In your head, you went, souls.
No, straight away. What else? What else are certain other non-material phenomena?
I don't know.
Shadows.
Ooh. Thoughts.
No, they're material.
What?
Sorry to break it to you.
That's another episode. So only light and certain other non-material phenomena can travel at the speed of light. Light and whatever those are.
And other.
Whatever those are.
MISC.
So I've got to ask a question at this point. In what sense are these galaxies that are 273 billion trillion miles away actually moving at the speed of light?
Do you want me to explain?
Yeah, well, they're not.
No, see,
relative to.
It's an expansion of the universe between us.
Yeah,
it's space expanding between us.
But it's not like if you were sitting in one of those galaxies, you're moving at the speed of light per se.
We're all moving at the speed of light.
Whoa,
compared
and also
to other
not.
things.
Exactly, and that's the bit where I kind of go,
We're all at the limit, man.
whoa.
Didn't you know?
Heaven is within us all.
Yeah, indeed.
So anyway, only light and certain other non-material phenomena. Anyway, what this means is, he says, is we can never reach the cosmic horizon because it's honking away.
Yeah, sure.
We can't get
You can't drive
there. But, he says, according to modern cosmology, an entire universe exists beyond the cosmic horizon.
And does he mean a universe within our universe, or does he mean it's like another universe?
Well, it's permanently hidden from us because we can never reach, let alone cross over the cosmic horizon.
Sure.
Not untrue. Doesn't tell us much about itself.
Well, I mean, just to pause for a second.
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
It's the universe is, 13 billion years old, and that means that we can see 13 billion years of light. And so the galaxies that are the furthest away are the ones that we can see. It doesn't mean that there aren't galaxies that have moved in the opposite direction to us that we will never see, and they will get further and further and further away from us. So we live within the Hubble bubble of the universe, which can only be...
Hubble bubble.
Yeah, only be a subset of the universe.
Wasn't that bubblegum?
Hubble bubblegum. Hubble bubble. Now, Hubble bubble is a big thing. Like it's everything that you can possibly see.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that it's everything
That exists.
Exists.
Yes. Anyway, he says an entire universe exists beyond the cosmic horizon. So, sure.
I still quibble. That's a weird way of phrasing it. Like if you just from the
Sure.
physics point, I'd just say a lot of stuff exists beyond that. But it's not an entire universe. It's still our universe.
Yeah, he's talking about the cosmic horizon as some mystical curtain or something. That's the implication. He doesn't say it, but
Like
it
our
smells
universe
like
is only the stuff we can see.
Yes,
And he's gone the stuff that's a little bit beyond.
is something else. Next, he says, according to our best astronomical observations, time stops at the cosmic horizon.
I mean, make up whatever you want.
No, it's a science.
I mean,
Physics.
so if we're and at the cosmic horizon, we're not actually at the cosmic horizon to itself. We're only at the cosmic horizon compared to Earth. So,
so
if
there's
you were to
actually, in
drive
some sense, there's no such thing.
some souped-up PT cruiser that can go faster than the speed
Yeah,
of
it's
light,
got jets.
and you can get to that edge, that's the point at which you can last see Earth. But we can see a whole bunch of stars, and then we just go a little bit further, and then we can't see Earth. And Earth has moved out to the other bit of the universe that we can't see. So,
Yeah, the cosmic horizon from
Wow.
our point of view. Anyway, time stops at the cosmic horizon.
sure.
At that special distance, way up there in deep, deep, deep space, there is no past, present, or future, only timelessness.
Yes.
Because speed of light and stuff.
Yes, that's of course what I thought.
Duh.
This does sound like one of my theories about what the actual edge of the universe is. But anyway,
So he ripped you off?
no, my theory is way better. But I think my theory is actually right.
We haven't seen the rest of it yet. This
okay.
could be the same. But of course, although there's no time beyond the horizon,
Yeah.
there is space, but no time.
I feel like what is the overlap between a dude going down into super Christianity and a dude getting stoned? Because this theory,
Who says they can't be the same?
I hope they are. This theory really smacks of someone who's got some okay physics in there.
Dude.
Did you know that time ends.
I just got my PhD from Cornell.
Hey, lovely people at Cornell.
Oh, I love most of them. So he goes on to say, because there's no time beyond the horizon, but there is space, this means the hidden universe beyond the cosmic horizon is habitable, but only by light and light-like entities.
He is so stoned.
Therefore,
Yeah.
the cosmic horizon is lined with, I don't know what that means, the very oldest celestial objects in the observable universe. That means, he goes on, whatever exists beyond the cosmic horizon predates these oldest objects. It predates the so-called Big Bang, he says so-called.
I love this.
Predates the beginning of the observable universe. What this means is, it's entirely possible heaven is located on the other side of the cosmic horizon.
Fine. Sure, make it up.
He's not making it up, he's proving it by his argument.
Yeah.
So he concludes, because of modern scientific realities and others, I don't know what that is, it's entirely reasonable to speculate that, as the Bible indicates, 4 things. 1, heaven exists way above our heads and way beyond the visible starlit universe. I'll take that. Sure, it might. 2, heaven is inaccessible to us mortals.
Yep.
Sure. But he then adds, while we're alive. Very scientific.
Yep.
3, heaven is inhabited by non-material timeless beings. Sure, I don't think cosmology helps us with that, but,
Can you move if you're timeless?
well, there's space.
Yeah, no. So you like a tree, you're there, but can you move if you're timeless?
Well, trees aren't timeless, so that's not an example.
No, I know. You're like a magic tree.
world-
Like this is a magic space only tree, but no time tree. For movement, you need a before and after. I feel like I don't want. That's not heaven to me. Like you're stuck still.
You don't know.
So this is basically the idea of heaven, that your soul zips through the universe at speed of light. Got to go 13 billion years, so it takes you 13 billion years to get to the end,
You could go faster.
or whatever. I don't know how far the Hubble bubble goes, but anyway.
Long way.
Yeah, long way. And then you get there and then you're stuck. You're like a little picture on the
Stuck.
edge
Not
of
stuck. Not stuck.
But you're not allowed to move.
What do you mean not allowed? You're in a place you want to be. So heaven is it's inhabited by these non-material timeless beings. And 4,
Yeah.
this is the conclusion after heaven exists. It's inaccessible to us mortals while we're alive. It's inhabited by non-material timeless beings based on cosmology, physics, etc.
Sure.
Finally, heaven is the dwelling place of the one who predates the universe, the one who created the universe. The obvious 4th point.
Well, fine.
So God lives there.
Fine. And plus God.
Yeah,
fine.
because God lives there.
Fine.
To be fair, I don't think Hubble, Einstein, or anyone else factored that in to the proposals they made. I'm not saying they didn't believe in God. I'm saying to their science.
This always goes back to the point that your whole argument about heaven is, it's a place that we can't see. And so the universe has a limit to what we can see or whatever.
Yep.
And so outside that, you just go, cool. There's no way of refuting this. There's no way of testing this. There's no way of anything here. It's just like, you want to talk about stuff outside the universe? Fine.
Absolutely.
Talk away. There's no way to do anything testable about it.
But he has a PhD. And this is the bit, like, for me, I don't give a shit about scientists or anyone else believing in God, gods, whatever. Great.
That sounds great.
No problem with it. What I don't understand, I've always balked at and I don't get, is when they go, I'm going to use science to prove God. And you're like, well, first up, that kind of belies the point of faith, etc., etc.
Why would you do this?
Don't science
the
it.
whole point of faith, don't freaking science it.
Yeah, don't science it.
And at this point, our faith-loving listeners will be like, thanks, atheists, for explaining religion.
For God-splaining to us.
But still, it's like, take a leap of faith. If you want to do that, that's fine. And you can do, but it's like,
Well, as we did, and we were being very respectful here, it was not hard to kind of poke holes along the way, not because God bad, religion bad, but it ain't the same as science. But speaking of conspiracy theories and stuff, and going back to that, if you read that quickly, and I first read it quickly, it's like, Sure.
God's outside the universe.
Unknowable, blah, blah, bubble, speed of light and shit, so science says it too. Tops.
Oh, and like, if you go, okay, well, if we go with the standard physics interpretation of the universe, there's a Big Bang, 13 billion years ago, and now the universe We can observe a certain chunk of it, but it's probably going to be bigger. But it's probably, some people will say it's infinite. Matthew Collis years ago told us, yes, potentially infinite.
Yeah.
But then there's others who say not necessarily infinite, but to all intents and purposes infinite. I don't know what that quite means. But sure.
Infinite-esque.
But you can say there are potentially edges to the universe. Like you can't go faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're able to travel in a certain direction, you don't hit an edge,
So
but you
edges
might loop
to
around.
our version of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. But
Not the entirety of whatever that thing is necessarily.
but it doesn't inherently mean beyond that is God.
Yeah, it does.
I feel
just
like-
talked you through it.
Yeah, okay.
It does.
Okay.
So God exists. Sorry, heaven. We know where heaven is.
See, this is
Boom.
my theory: is that the universe is, like the speed of light is the edge. Like that is the edge. Like
What?
that is the edge. Like it's
The edge is not a physical thing. It's a
no,
it's
it's a
property.
it's a four-dimensional object, and
Whoa.
so objects don't exist in a three-dimensional plane; they exist in at least a four-dimensional plane, and so the edge is a velocity.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's
You've blown my. That's why I'm going to get a 500 kilowatt.
so don't
bike.
think about edges like boundaries.
No,
but edge,
no.
So there is a boundary.
Yes.
That's
But the boundary is a moving concept. Cow using tools.
oh my god, cow tools.
Cow tools. So last year, as we discussed, there was a bit of a run on memes. A Garfield strip and a Larson comic was being dredged from the past about cows either using, making, or having tools.
Or displaying their tools.
Or displaying their tools. And it was obviously these are cast as the epitome of ridiculousness.
Yeah, how could cows have tools?
They don't have them, they don't make them, they don't use them. You fucking idiots.
Look at their hooves.
Yeah, exactly.
No
And-
opposable hooves there.
And their dead stupid eyes and their delicious steak bums.
That's true.
It is true. But now an Austrian cow called Veronica, with a K because it's Austrian, has clapped back against these scoffers and doubters.
What?
So she doesn't actually make the tools or tool,
Fine.
but she picked up an object and aimed it at a target herself to achieve a goal which meets a relatively strict definition of tool use.
She didn't just use a scratching post, did she?
Bit more than that.
Just
Bit more.
Okay.
Bit more. So the researchers, there are many stories, but the researchers went to see her owner, Witka Wiegler, who has a farm in...
Witka Wiegler?
Yeah, Witka Wiegler.
Great. I love that.
It is. And he seems like a lovely guy. He's an organic farmer. I think he makes his own butter and whatever. They went to see Veronica in her meadow. And they figured they might have to wait a long time to maybe get a glimpse of this alleged tool use. So they're like, all right, let's check it out. We'll see what happens.
This wasn't the Austrian guy that dresses up as a cow to do cow research? No? Or maybe it was goats.
No, we
A
did goats.
Swiss guy
We
that-
talked about goats.
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. A number of.
We're shockingly well remembered this day.
I don't remember that. Tell me any details. I don't, and I told you. But I know where to find the notes. So anyway, they thought, yeah, look, how long are we going to have to wait? Okay, Witka, good for you. So, but apparently, Witka dropped a stick in front of her, or a broom actually.
Not Victor, Veronica.
Witka dropped
Oh,
the stick
Victor-
in front of Veronica.
Okay. So here's a tool.
Yep.
Would you like to? Yeah.
And this, I love the quote, out comes, like a rolled carpet, the tongue. Do you want to dwell on that for a while? That's pretty hot.
No, it's not.
Could be. Grasps the stick in the tip, rolls it into the tongue like a hand, pulls it back into the mouth, and then the mouth closes. Then she turns her head and starts scratching her body with the broom wrapped in her tongue. According to Witka, Veronica, who is a family pet, she's not used
She's a special cow.
Yep, she's a pet. She's not
She's
a milk or
non-edible
beef.
cow.
Yeah, she ain't milk or beef.
She's got a name.
She does. So when she was about 3, she started picking up sticks and stuff to scratch herself, but clumsily. But because she loved the sticks so much,
I just want to pause for a second.
Yeah.
Like, does animal tool use to be interesting to cognitive scientists?
Yeah.
Does it have to be skillful, or are they allowed clumsy?
it has to be beautiful, finessed.
Like if they're shitty at using the drill, and you're like,
But you still got a hole in the wood.
like look at that monkey. It's got a circular saw, but it can't cut accurately. Fucking no tool use there.
Measure twice, cut once, you idiot.
Come on.
Exactly. Stupid capuchin. So apparently, no, she, about 3, she started to pick up sticks, but she loved them so much, so he made sure there were always some sticks and stuff in her paddock. And now, 10 years later, she's 13. She's mastered the technique of picking up the broom and scratching herself. But there's nuance. This is important. Very important. So researchers went through more than 70 trials across 7 sessions, filming her and checking out what she did.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, they're thorough. Research, right? They wanted to check if she was sensitive to the broom's properties. And that sensitivity basically is, does she care about the brush end or the handle end of the broom?
Okay. So she's actually choosing.
Making choices.
Which one's going to itch my itch?
Exactly. Apparently
I think they should have put some itching powder on her. This I'm suggesting.
In places she didn't normally scratch with the broom.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the top of her head.
How are you going to get this, Veronica?
Exactly. Get another tool, smart ass. Yeah, exactly. So apparently occasionally she'd use the handle end to scratch herself, not the brush end. And at first they thought, this is a bit of an error. Why wouldn't you use the brush? But after a while, they started to see a pattern.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay.
And it turned out she'd pick up the broom by the brush specifically so she could scratch her undercarriage with the handle end. She wanted to use the handle, not the brush, on her undercarriage. Because, they say, she could therefore gently poke at sensitive skin on the undercarriage without the roughness of the bristles. That's a rough-looking brush. It's the kind of brush that you kind of scrub your deck with before you stain it.
Can I remain quite skeptical on this?
Of course.
We all know that humans can fall for things that they want to believe, and when you are looking at one particular anecdote, you can imagine this team of researchers going, "Oh, look at they're using the handle end because her udders are sensitive, and using the."
We'll science it by looking at it 1,000 times.
I feel like science it by looking at it 1,000 times is not science.
Well, it is. Repeated observations of the same phenomenon. Looking for patterns.
Yeah, while you're trying to put in a control condition, or while you're trying to.
They did not have a control cow. It's true. Or a control broom or other tools. So anyway, apparently they say this makes the tool use multi-purpose, which is only mimicked by the way chimpanzees use blades of grass to hunt for termites.
Sure.
Because the behaviour is anticipatory. She planned which way to grab the tool for best use.
Oh, no, I can believe anticipation, that can be an element of tools. I can believe that. I'm calling a potential skepticism here.
Yeah. And look, to be fair, full disclosure, there are videos online showing other cows and bulls doing similar kinds of things, which may have been where the last year's memes and stuff came on. But this is the first scientific study of tool use.
Yeah, okay.
1,000 observations, 70. Researchers reckon this suggests that the capacity to develop behaviour lies deep within the nature of these animals.
Okay.
But they stress a few tool instances of individuals using them does not make the species as a whole tool users. And they reckon we might not see it a lot in cows, not because Veronica is some kind of, as they put it, bovine Einstein, but because the way she lives is different to other cows. She's a pet and she sees people using stuff and maybe she learns.
Maybe.
Fucking genius.
Yeah.
My final thought, though, and this is the thing that annoys me the most, is stop telling me things that are delicious are more than just plants with eyes. Like, I don't want them to have personalities. I don't want them to be friends. I don't want them to be using tools. I want them to just be lumps of meat on legs waiting to be steaks for me. It's very annoying.
You're just going to have to cope with that.
I don't want to.
I got to go a packed mailbag for you to go through. Where
did this come from?
From our listeners.
If people emailed us.
If people email us, here's a little bit of science.
I got to say, though, just before you read them, thanks, gang.
No, it's awesome.
It's nice to know people are out there.
Now, there's a few here, and look, as I said before, I don't know how much justice I can do to all of them, but a few I just wanted to read out and share a few things. So Dave. I love this because Dave sent in a few things in response to the AI recipes episode that we did a while ago. Dave says here, the terrible, gloopy, overly sweet recipes, the real ones before AI got involved, reminded me of a cookbook my father published back in the 70s. Now, you
fantastic.
Now, Dave's father here was the general manager of Davis Gelatine. Davis Gelatine is...
Ooh, this does not start well.
It's an Australian-New Zealand company that at one point was 12% of the world's gelatine supply.
Serious?
They flooded the world
This is going to be one of those, take a normal recipe and add goop.
Yeah, indeed.
Yep.
And so Dave's dad hired a whole team of home economists and cooks to develop recipes and publish cookbooks to educate the Australian housewife about the benefits of gelatine cookery. Now, we've all seen all of these things. I think actually this educating housewives, as they said, goes back a fair bit earlier as well. One version was called, from Davis Gelatine, was called Dainty Dishes. I just love it.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And anyway, Dave says he has 2 copies. No, 2 of the recipe books that his dad published.
That's awesome.
But he only has 1 copy of them.
Awesome.
The dessert section is quite normal, I imagine.
Well, it would be.
It's
Yeah.
jellies and shit like that.
Yeah, add cream and fruit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, gelatine does pretty well.
Not a
in
whole
those.
pheasant and some offal.
And we've made a few recipes out of it. The rest is a horror show of ghastly 70s cooking. And I just love that a chunk of this comes from the gelatine marketing board, basically. They're like, what can we do here to get some gelatine into cooking? I had to flick through a couple of the pictures that Dave sent in, and the 2 that jumped out at me that were just beautiful.
Yeah.
One was, it's potato salad that is done.
Was it?
It's like if you turned a potato salad into a jelly. So it's in a jelly mold, and then you've got mashed potato and made that and filled it full of jelly, and I love that.
Fuck me.
But the other thing that made me actually go back in time a little bit is that the gelatine marketing board by the 70s was actually adapting to the times.
Super powerful, right? They're more powerful than the coal lobby.
I don't think they were that. I'm just saying they
Close.
were adapting to the times. Like they so look, we've known for forever basically that gelatine was a weird thing that made liquids go hard in cold air, like in normal air.
Yeah.
So it's something that made things set, and people have been getting at it. Animals.
It's like room temperature. What do you call it?
Room temperature solidification.
Yeah, which is the same as that thing that we can never do. Not cold fusion, the other one.
Yeah. That one.
Super.
Yeah, the Koreans did
transistor
it, but then they
thing.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there's recipes for gelatine back to the 10th century.
Superconductivity. Gelatin is a superconductivity of recipes and food.
So there's a recipe back to 10th century BC. Kitab al-Tabaka.
BC?
Yeah, 10th century BC. 10th century BC. This is from a journal article too, 10th century BC.
There were centuries that far back?
I don't know. I mean, it must be...
Well, that's pretty much like Neanderthals banging Homo
I'm
sapiens.
surprised because I thought, okay, I'm going to double check that one because I thought the first recipe book known was a Roman recipe book. This is
from
the Kitab
1824.
al-Tabaka. That sounds much more Arabic. That sounds like 10th century, but weirdly, it does say BC there.
Yeah, we've got to find out.
I think, okay, it was like...
A long time ago.
This journal article was, let me get the name of it.
The Journal of Please Pay Us to Publish?
No, I've got the title.
Oh.
It's Gelatin as It Is, History and Modernity. There were some interesting points about it, but there was a whole bunch of chemistry. So its history section was interesting, but perhaps not as rigorous as...
A little less considered.
Yeah, anyway.
Right.
But anyway, that was a preparation of fish jelly. There's one in 1375, Viandier of Taliavent, which is a jellied meat broth.
Meat jelly, so take soup and make it hard?
But anyway, gelatine took off like with industrialization.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the French first were the ones that really went, you know what, jelly's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So there were French industrialists, same sort of time as Louis Pasteur, who really said, what we want to do, if we can get gelatine out, we can use this as a protein for poor people. And this is 19th century thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'll allow it.
Jean-Pierre Joseph d'Arcet, 1812, he's experimenting on how to get gelatine out with hydrochloric acid. The French government then said, you know what, we can feed poor people on jelly with meat in it or jelly with stuff in it. It's going to be healthy.
This is milk gelatin. You'll love it.
All sort of things. And so when we all laugh at those 70s Australian cookbooks, remember that the French did it first. So
But they didn't put olives in mashed potato.
you don't know that they didn't.
No,
you
that's true.
don't. You don't know that they didn't.
But they'd make it cool.
Yeah, the Americans went industrial scale as well, beginning of the 20th century.
Imagine
so
that.
there is a global tradition here.
That's so good.
I just got to read a couple more things, and I'll get to the other recipe that really made me laugh.
Yeah.
Up to the 20th century, the use of gelatine as a food product remained. It was a food product. You know, we're making jellies, and then we're making the weird savory jellies that they did in that time. But then in the 20th century, people started discovering that gelatine was actually super useful in all sorts of other things.
Like patching tires, healing wounds.
Not far off. Healing wounds, possibly. I don't know. We're using it in wood, leather, textiles, books, newspapers, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But the things that you'll see jellies is like dishwasher tablets. You know, that's jelly around the edge of your dishwasher
Your
tablet.
dissolvable packaging.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Used in newspapers, magazines, water-soluble shells for various things. and ballistic tests, so making a
yeah.
ballistic jelly.
Yeah. To mimic a body or whatever. Yeah.
But I did love this line.
Yeah.
So in short, no other hydrocolloid comes close to the versatility of gelatin.
I've always said. There's a T-shirt.
But anyway, people in the gelatin marketing boards have looked at ways to adapt the use of gelatin, and I did love this is the 70s and 80s weight control with gelatin, and this was a recipe where you get juice and you put in some gelatin, and that's you get sort of like a jelly juice,
So you feel a bit fuller.
and you feel a bit fuller. So this is adapting with the times. Australia was not unique in this, but it is lovely that Australian recipes were some of the grossest that we've seen.
Yay for us.
A couple more in the mailbag. Anne remembers your episode on Komodo dragons, asexual reproduction of Komodo dragons, cloning. There's a nice study on Komodo dragons reproducing in zoos.
Is it horrible?
It's not horrible. Komodo dragons are horrible creatures.
They're fucking horrible.
But
And they're basically all inbred.
well, here's why. Because all the Komodo dragons have been shown since 2006 to have this weird ability to do parthenogenesis, which is basically not quite cloning themselves, but having a baby with yourself where you kind of have an egg and the egg splits and then you refuse them back together and use the DNA from both. Forgive me, that's a pretty rough...
Strong science.
Yeah, approximation.
Strong science. Well, this is a little bit of science, not the whole lot.
But then you end up with a boy baby.
Yeah.
They have to be boys because the chromosomes don't work if they're girls. And out pops a boy baby.
But it
and
can
then
bang mumsy.
a little while later he can bang mumsy. So it's been speculated that's a great strategy for if you're a Komodo dragon, you swim to a new island, there's no others to bang, and you can. And a few points from Adam, who, as you might expect, good friend Adam Rope, played conkers in school. And the classic ways to cheat there were...
Explosives.
No, baking the horse chestnuts in an oven or pickling them with malt vinegar.
Oh.
And Adam reckons that his personal record for stone skimming is 16, but I'm sorry, Adam, mine is at least 17. So
Mine's 104, and I have a video.
bullshit.
I will.
Bullshit.
I will have a video.
And just to close us out here, I've got a little birthday present from Rod. I was given a picture of a book, and I looked into this.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
1969.
Yeah.
A guy named Hans R. Hahn and his friend Werner H. Rush, they wrote a book, and you're going to have to read the title out
Gladly.
and describe the picture.
Book is called Helping the Retarded to Know God. And I've got to say, the face of the young boy or girl looking blankly into the middle distance and up slightly may be someone who's vaguely IQ impaired. Holy
A little bit of
shit.
science. It's a show where you can get your science.
And other.
Send us in your stories, your ideas, critiques, comments. Cheers, a little bit of science.com.au. Send us in weird books like that one.
Please.
But,
Please do.